What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you all my updated top 10 first baseman's rankings list for MLB The Show 21 Diamond Dynasty. Probably the last time I'm going to do this for the year. Some of my opinions on these cards have changed since the last time I made this rankings video, so I wanted to give you guys one final first baseman's rankings for the year. If you're excited for this one, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. Can we get this video to 100 likes? But without further ado, hope you all enjoy the video, and let's get it.
Minica, watch me on Twitch, ooh, I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, red button beaming. Let's get that sub count, take over YouTube, ooh, we teaming. My content so hot, ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Red button beaming.
Okay, everyone, I'm here back on MLB The Show 21 Diamond Dynasty, and a few days ago, I updated some of my top 10 rankings, my shortstops, and my third basemen. So today, we're continuing that with the top 10 first basemen in the game. If you guys are new here, for the most part, it's going to be primary first basemen only. The only non-primary first baseman that's going to be on this list is Babe Ruth, because everybody's using Babe Ruth at first base. Nobody's really using him in the outfield. Besides that, no other secondary first basemen. Primaries only. My top 10 might not be your top 10. It is my opinion, so if you agree or disagree with me, that is completely okay, but let's get into it. At number 10, to get my top 10 started, we have 99 overall finest Frank Swindle. For those of you guys who are on a budget right now, if you're just starting Diamond Dynasty this late in the year and you're looking to pick up a quality first baseman on the market, this Frank Swindle is your guy. For about 7,500 stubs, he has great contact against both sides, 124 against righties, 123 against lefties, pretty solid power against righties at 105. It's not great for a first baseman. You like them to have 115, 120 plus at this point in the year, but power in this game, 100 plus for the most part, is pretty good. But for a first baseman, like I said, a little low for my liking, but against lefties, it's maxed out at 125, and he's not bad in the field. You don't need a gold glove first baseman. Frank Thomas makes plays, David Ortiz makes plays, and those guys both have common defense. Frank Swindle, a little bit better than that, 72 fielding, 63 react time, and decent speed for a first baseman. You're going to see a lot of first basemen pretty slow, but 47 speed, 25 steal for the first baseman spot is not bad. Doesn't have the quirks that a lot of these finest cards do have, especially like guys like Trey Turner, Tatis, Freeman. They have 15 plus quirks, so for a finest card, definitely doesn't have a lot of quirks, only 4. But like I said, if you're looking for a budget option for 7,500 stubs, you can't go wrong with Frank Swindle. At number 9, we have the 99 milestone Miguel Cabrera. This card definitely underrated at this point in the year. There's definitely better first basemans, that's why he's at number 9. But Miguel Cabrera has a really good swing. Love his swing. Great contact for higher difficulties. Hall of Fame and legend. 120 contact against righties, 124 against lefties. Good enough vision. His power, though, for first baseman, a little low for my liking. Like I said with Frank Swindle, you want guys at this point in the year with 115, 120 plus against both sides, 112 power against righties, 109 against lefties. Definitely not bad, but you could do better. But he has a great swing at the plate. Also pretty solid in the field for a first baseman. Better than Swindle. 76 fielding, 83 arm, 80 arm accuracy with 72 reacts time and solid speed once again for the first baseman position. At 46 speed, you can get him completely free too. His player program, very quick, probably take you about 20 to 30 minutes to get a free 99 Miguel Cabrera. At number 8, we have the 99 finest Paul Goldschmidt. Now this card definitely looks good on paper as a first baseman, but there's a reason why he's on this top 10 list, because he doesn't really stand out to you anywhere, especially against righties. The best pitchers in this game are righty arms, and he doesn't have great splits against righties. His splits against lefties are great, but righties are pretty mediocre for a first baseman. 109 contact against righties, 106 power against righties, 125 contact against lefties, and 117 power against lefties. Best fielder, though, that we've seen on the list so far, 88 fielding, 60 arm, 86 arm accuracy, 94 react time, and like I said with the last couple guys, pretty good speed for a first baseman, but 69 steal, 77 bag aggressiveness. But the reason why he's on this top 10 list is because this card, unlike Frank Swindle, who only had 4 quirks, this Paul Goldschmidt has 14 quirks, a lot at the plate. He's going to excel at hitting fastballs with dead red. On phase, excels with hitting with 2 strikes, has a lot of these quirks at the plate, which makes him play better in game than the stats actually say. Quirks are very underrated. Make sure to check all your cards on your team for quirks. More quirks mean they're going to play better in game, so definitely check all those out for all your cards on your team. If you want to pick up Paul Goldschmidt, he's in the NL Central Team Affinity Season 5. At number 7, we have the 99 MVP Frank Thomas. This card's probably a top 3 first baseman on paper. paper, but in game, he's not as good as the stats would actually say. Reason for that is that he's 6'5", strike zone way too big in my opinion, not the best swing. That makes his stats not worth it in game in my opinion. But like I said, on paper, I mean, you can't get much better than this card. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, maybe better than Babe Ruth on paper, but other than that, no one really better than Frank Thomas. 122 contact against righties, then contact against lefties, power against both sides at 125. Definitely not a great defender, but like I said earlier, in game, he's honestly not horrible with 59 fielding, 55 reaction time, the two most important fielding stats for a first baseman, would make you think he's not going to make plays. But honestly, when I've used Frank Thomas at first base, I haven't had problems with him defensively, which is pretty cool because he doesn't have great fielding stats. 51 speed, actually the fastest first baseman we talked about so far. If he was like 6'2", 6'3", with a better swing, he might be the best first baseman in the game. But because of the size, I have him here at number 7. If you want to pick him up, he's in the Aero Central Team Affinity Season 4. At number 6, I have the 99 All-Star Game Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I always preferred Vlad Jr. over Frank Thomas, even though the stats would say Frank Thomas is better. Vlad Jr. has a better swing. He's 6'2" instead of 6'5", so a smaller strike zone, better swing, ball flies off the bat of Vlad Jr. despite not having the hitting stats that Frank Thomas does, but his hitting stats definitely not bad. 125 contact against righties, 124 power against righties, and again, best pitchers in the game are righty arms. 107 contact against lefties, 116 power against lefties. Then we have the fielding stats for first baseman, pretty solid. 79 fielding, 73 arm, 72 arm accuracy, 82 reaction time, and the norm pretty much for these first basemans, probably that mid 40 speed, which Vlad Jr. has at 46 speed. Not going to have the quirks like Freddie Freeman, doesn't have quite the hitting stats of Lou Gehrig or Babe Ruth, but this card is excellent, and he's very budget friendly at this point in the year for 30K. At number 5, we have the 99 Triple Crown Jimmy Fox. A lot of people though are using Jimmy Fox at catcher rather than first base because of the top 4 cards that are all better than Jimmy Fox, but if you want to use Jimmy Fox at first base, he can get the job done for you, and I actually might prefer him at first base because behind the plate doesn't have the best arm, so he can't really throw out a lot of guys that are trying to steal. Guys like Trey Turner, Tatis with 99 speed, Jimmy Fox isn't going to throw him out, so I would recommend using him at first base rather than catcher if you're going to use his Jimmy Fox card. On paper, another card with great hitting stats. He has a pretty solid swing, good strike zone, 6 foot flat, so strike zone not going to be too big, not going to be too small. 124 contact against righties, 125 against lefties, 122 power against righties, 119 against lefties. For the most part, fielding stats high 60s, low 70s, and the fastest first baseman that we've talked about so far with 65 speed. If you want to pick him up, you have to get, I think, 8 vouchers in the Ken Griffey Jr. collection, and you can get him. At number 4, we have the 99 Milestone Albert Pujols, and you get really nitpicky with some of these cards at this point in the list because all these cards are very, very close in hitting stats, so it really depends on whose swing you like the most. You can go any way with this top 5, who you really want at your number 1. It really depends on whose swing you like the most, and personally, Albert Pujols' swing with his leg kick is a little slow, so I feel like his swing is a little slow. That's why I don't prefer him in game over the top 3, but on paper, once again, in game, he's not horrible, but on paper, he looks great like the other cards on this list. 117 contact against righties, 125 against lefties, 120 power against righties, and 125 power against lefties, so at parallel 5, the lowest hitting stat he is going to have is 122 contact against righties. The other ones all going to be 125, 115 plus in the vision and the discipline and the clutch at 125, and pretty solid defensively for a first baseman. 86 fielding, 75 arm, 82 arm accuracy, and 85 reaction time. Good speed, steal, and bag aggressiveness for a first baseman. 63 speed, 57 steal, and 54 bag aggressiveness. I actually don't know how many quirks Pujols has. Only 8, so that holds him back a little bit because when we talk about Freddie Freeman, that man has 17. But if you want to pick up Pujols, he's 125K in the market, or you can get him in the 10th inning program. At number 3, I have the 99 Milestone Lou Gehrig. Again, on paper, this card looks great. I prefer him over Pujols and Jimmy Fox because Lou Gehrig is a lefty bat that mashes righty arms. 125 contact and power against righties. Against lefties, very good as well. 123 contact against lefties, 115 power against lefties. Great vision, discipline, clutchness. He'll get it done all across the board at the plate. Defensively, not bad either. 80 fielding, 77 reaction time, and 58 speed. But the problem with Lou Gehrig is the lack of quirks at this point in the year. The stats are great, but he doesn't really stand out anywhere with the stats. A lot of first basemans with those stats. He has a pretty good swing though, but only 6 quirks will hold him back from being in the top 2. Definitely a very good card though, but for 570K, I would prefer number 2 on this list instead of Lou Gehrig because that card is completely free, or you can get this card in ranked seasons. At number 2, we have the 99 Finest Freddie Freeman, and I was seriously debating putting this Freddie Freeman card at number 1 over the guy we're going to talk about at number number one. Personally, I think he's the best first baseman in the game, but I know the public would probably say number one is better than Freddie Freeman, so I decided to go with that. Didn't want to be biased here, so Freddie Freeman is here at number two. And you're probably thinking Lou Gehrig looks better on paper than Freddie Freeman, and he does, but Freddie Freeman is also great against righty arms. 125 contact against righties, 117 power against righties. I'll take Freddie Freeman's swing any day of the week over Lou Gehrig's, and I'll also take the fact that Freddie Freeman has 17 quirks to Lou Gehrig's 6. So Freddie Freeman with all these quirks and almost close enough stats to Lou Gehrig definitely makes him better in game. If you guys have been watching me play with this Freddie Freeman card, I am batting .412 with Freddie Freeman in 170 plate appearances with a 1.386 OPS, 25 home runs. The last like 20 videos I've made, Freddie Freeman has hit a home run in. This card is insane. If you're not using him because the stats don't look great, you have to take a deeper look into Freddie Freeman with the quirks, with the hitting stats, with the swing. The ball flies off of Freddie Freeman's bat, and he's also the best defensive first baseman that we've talked about so far with 89 fielding, 89 arm, 95 arm accuracy, 94 reaction time, and 59 speed. The good thing about Freddie Freeman though, if you want to use number one at first base, you can use Freddie Freeman at third base. Right now though, I'm rocking Freddie Freeman at first base. He's my favorite first baseman in the game. If you want to pick him up, he's in the NL East Team Affinity Season 5. And last but not least, at number one, it's going to be 99 overall Babe Ruth. On paper, no doubt the best first baseman in the game with max hitting stats across the board, contact wise, power wise, at 125, discipline clutchness at 125, 105 vision. Quick reminder, if you're watching on TikTok, come over to the YouTube channel. Ton of rankings here on my channel, debuts, all that stuff. Make sure you're coming by the channel. And the fielding stats for Babe Ruth, really solid as well. 76 fielding, 87 arm, 85 arm accuracy, and 68 reaction time. Like I said, on paper, no one better than Babe Ruth. Do I prefer Freddie Freeman in game? I do, but that's my personal preference. I know a lot of people would disagree and go with Babe Ruth, so really decide who you want to use at first base, because at the end of the day, first basemen really depend on whose swing you like the most, who hits the most home runs to you, because that's what you need at first base. Babe Ruth, though, pretty fast for a first baseman, 65 speed, 45 steal, and 70 bag aggressiveness. Has half the quirks, though, Freddie Freeman. Only 8 here. If you want to pick up Babe Ruth, he's going to cost you about $500K on the market. Okay, everyone, that's going to do it for the video today. My top 10 first basemans in the game. If you guys enjoyed the video and you found it useful, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. More rankings videos coming, debuts, gameplays, all that good stuff for MLB The Show. Make sure to follow me at my social links as well, which are on the screen for you guys right now. But that's going to do it for me today, everyone. See you on the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.